Hello students, today we look at previous year questions from the dimensions topic. Here is a question from Telangana 2023 EAMCET exam. Velocities v and acceleration a in two systems of units 1 and 2 are related as v2 is equal to n by m square into v1 and a2 is equal to a1 by mn, where m and n are constants. M and n are constants. So what is the dimensionally how are S1 and S2 and T1 and T2 related? He has given how velocities are related and how accelerations are related, and is asking how are the distances and the times related. Please pause the video and try it on your own. What are the dimensions of velocity? Distance by time. So since they have given it is length by time, but or displacement by time, but because they have mentioned S1, we'll take as S1. So V2 is S2 by T2 is equal to n by m square S1 by T1. We have written this equation in that form. V2 is S2 by T2, n by m square, S1 by T1. And here A2, acceleration is distance by time square. So we have S2 by T2 square is equal to 1 by mn S1 by T1 square. This is equation. What we have done is we have just written these two equations in the form of the distance by time and distance by time square because they are velocity and acceleration. Now from these two, if you notice, they are asking how are S2 and S1 related. So, and how are T1 and T2 related? So what do you think? From here it is algebraic manipulation. So if you look at this, to eliminate, let us eliminate first S2. We can eliminate S2 if we divide equation 1 by equation 2, because here there is S2 and here there is S2 and here there is S1 and here there is S1. If we divide it, we can eliminate the distances. This is not physics. From here it is algebra. Alright, so let us divide equation 1 by equation 2. If I divide it, what do I get? S2 by T2 into, this gets reversed, T2 square by S2 is equal to n by m square S1 by T1 into, this gets reversed, mn T1 square by S1. So S2 get cancelled, T2 and T2 square, 1 T2 gets cancelled. So we have T2 is equal to, and here S1 and S1 gets cancelled, 1 T1, 1 M. So we have n into n, n square by m into T1. So this is how the times are related. So if you look at this, we have T2 is equal to n square by m. So this is the only option for time 2. So the correct option is A. We'll solve for S2 also. So what did we do? We took that equation and algebraically we saw that if we divide equation 1 by equation 2, we can eliminate S1 and S2 and we have the equation in T2. Now let us do the other way. How do we eliminate T2? Now if you look at this, there is T2 here and T2 square here. There is T1 here and T1 square here. So we can't just divide. First we have to square the equation 1. So if we square it, we have S2 square by T2 square is equal to n square by m power 4 S1 square by T1 square. So what did we do? We squared equation 1. S2 square by T2 square n square m power 4 S1 square T1 square. Now look at this equation 3 and 2. Now we have T2 square and T2 square. So if we divide this, because this is in denominator and this is also in denominator, we can eliminate T2. Here also T1 square, T1 square, these are in denominators. So if we divide, we can eliminate T1 and we can have the relation between S2 and S1. So 2 divided by 3. So let's divide equation 2 by equation 3. If we do that, what do we have? S2 by T2 square into T2 square by S2 square. This gets flipped, inverted, is equal to 1 by mn S1 by T1 square into m power 4 by n square into T1 square by S1 square. So alright, S2 gets cancelled and the one S2 will remain and T2 square T2. So we have 1 by S2 is equal to m cube and T1 square gets cancelled and here we have S1 remaining. So we have m cube by n cube into 1 by S1. Okay, if we turn this upside down, we get S2 is equal to n cube by m cube into S1. So this is our final result. So we have S2 is equal to n cube by m cube into S1. This is a favorite question. This was asked in several exams. So if you can solve this and these type of a couple of questions, you will be able to answer it perfectly. All right, let's see you in the next PYQ. Hello students. Let's take a look at this question. If E and E naught denote energies and T and T naught respectively and L and L naught distance from same point at T and T naught, then which equation is incorrect on dimensional grounds? This was asked in Telangana EAPCET 2022. Alright, they have given some equations and they are asking which one is dimensionally incorrect. This is actually a trick question. You don't have to know what all these mean. What they are saying is E and E naught, they are energies, T and T naught are times, L and L naught are lengths. And here we have some equations. Which one of these is dimensionally incorrect? Now, our dimensional analysis says if the left side is one dimension, say length, the right side also should be length. So, even though we don't understand what these equations mean, if we can find out what are the dimensions of this and what are the dimensions of this, and if they are equal, then we are good to go. So, let us look at each one. Now here the first option is E is equal to 2 E naught by L into L by L naught. Now look at this. Length and length, they are being divided. So what is left? So here we have E is equal to 2 into E naught into L by L naught. Look at this. So length and length dimension, they get cancelled. So left side is energy, 2 into energy. In dimensions, we don't worry about the constant. So energy is equal to energy. So this equation is right. Let us look at this one. E is equal to E naught into E raised to the power of minus 2L by L naught. Now, exponent, here in exponent, there is a length by length. So again, this becomes some number. It could be length, we are dividing length by length, so that becomes some number. So this entire thing becomes some number. Exponent raised to some number is some number. So then this becomes E is equal to E naught into some number k. So again, dimensionally, we can ignore the constant, so energy is equal to energy. So this equation is also right. Let us look at this equation. Here we have E is equal to 2 times length into exponent raised to length by energy. Now, any exponent raised to x, the formula is 1 plus x by 1 factorial plus x square by 2 factorial plus x cube by 3 factorial, so on. So x has to be a pure number, otherwise we cannot add these things. Just imagine if x is length. So we have 1 plus length square, which is area, plus length cube, which means volume. So we are adding 1 plus length plus area plus volume. We cannot add that. So that's incorrect. X has to be a number, only then e raised to the something is valid. So here it is not a pure number because length is being divided by energy. We have some dimensions which is not a pure number. So, and also energy is equal to 2 into length into something. So clearly this is not dimensionally valid. So this is not correct. And look at this. Here we have energy, and energy, this one E is raised to length by length naught. So this is a number, so this is okay. But here on the left side we have energy, and on the right side we have energy divided by length. So these two are dimensionally not correct. So our options are C is not dimensionally correct and D is not dimensionally correct. So our option is D is the right answer. C and D only are the ones that are dimensionally not correct. Now you have to pay attention here. We did not know what these equations mean. Those are there just to confuse us. But if we go by pure dimensional analysis, where energy is lengths and times, if we can understand these, then you'll be able to solve the questions. Hello students, let us look at this question. If velocity of light c, gravitational constant g, and Planck's constant h are the fundamental units, then what are the dimensions of density? This was asked in Telangana EAPCET 2022. So this is the combination, these are the options that they have given us. So what they are saying, C, G and H are the fundamental units. So let us say, before we proceed, we need to know what are the fundamental units of C, G, H in M, L and T. So let's do that here. So C, what is C? C is velocity of light. So velocity of light is speed. Speed is length by time. So the dimensions of C are m power 0, there is no m, L power 1, T power minus 1. These are the dimensions of speed of light. Gravitational constant G. You may not know this now, but in next classes you will know that this comes in the force of attraction between two masses. So the formula is the force of attraction between two masses m1 and m2 is G m1 m2 by r square, where r is the distance between those two masses. So what is force? Force is mass into acceleration. So G m1 m2 by r square. So if we take G, if we keep G here and move the rest of the stuff here, we have ma r square by m1 m2 is the gravitational constant G. Now what are the fundamental units of each of these quantities? Mass is mass, acceleration is length by time square. So that is L by T square into r square. R square is length square. The distance between the two objects is length. And we have mass into mass. So that is m square. This is G. So this turns out to be m power minus 1 L cube and t power minus 2. This is the gravitational constant G. So the gravitational constant G is m power minus 1 L cube and t power minus 2. Now we have Planck's constant. Planck's constant H. The formula is given by the energy of a photon is Planck's constant into the frequency of the photon. So now energy, we can take any energy. Let us take kinetic energy for example. Half mv square is equal to h nu. Nu is the frequency. Frequency is by time. Frequency is 1 by t. Alright. So now let us keep h here and move everything that side. So mv square half mv square into time is Planck's constant h. Now constants don't have any dimension. So the dimension of m is m, velocity is length by time. So we have L square by t square into t. This is h. So 1t gets cancelled. So m power 1, L power 2, t power minus 1 are the dimensions of Planck's constant. Okay, so C is equal to m power 0, L power 1, t power minus 1 and G, gravitational constant, is equal to H is equal to m power 1. So now these are the dimensions of velocity of light, gravitational constant and Planck's constant. And now they are saying some combination of this should give us density. So what is density? The fundamental unit is mass by volume, ml cube or m power 1, L power minus 3, t power 0. These are the dimensions of density. So let the combination be, so density is equal to c power x, some c power x, g power y and h power z. Some combination of this will give us density, which means this one, the dimensions of density L power minus 3 and t power 0 is equal to m power 0 L power 1 t power minus 1 to the power of x into g. G is my m power minus 1 L cube t power minus 2 to the power of y and h is m power 1 L square t power minus 1 to the power of z. Alright, let us expand this. So m power 0 L power x t power minus x, m power minus y L power 3y t power minus 2y, m power z L power 2z t power minus z is equal to m power 1. Now these are all in the fundamental units of ml and t. So comparing these, it is easy to see. Let us gather all the m's together. So we have 0 minus y plus z L power x plus 3y plus 2z and t power minus x minus 2y minus z. So from this it is very clear that these powers should be the same. So 0 minus y plus z is 1, x plus 3y plus 2z has to be minus 3 and minus x minus 2y minus z has to be 0 for all of this to be density. So equating that, what do we have? Minus y plus z is equal to 1, x plus 3y plus 2z is equal to minus 3 minus x plus minus x minus 2y minus z is equal to 0. So these are the three equations we have. Now from here it is algebraic manipulation. If you look at this second equation, there is a plus x and minus x. So if we can combine these two equations, we can eliminate x. Then we will be left with y and z. And from these two equations, we can somehow eliminate one variable and be left with 1, and then we can work backwards. All right, let us add these two equations. Then what do we have? We have y plus z is equal to minus 3. So from these two equations, look at these two equations. All right, let me write this one here. So minus y plus z is equal to 1. Now if we add these two, what do we get? 2z is equal to minus 2. We have 2z is equal to minus 2. Let me write that here. 2z is equal to minus 2, or z is equal to minus 1. Now we got one value. Let us substitute this one here. So minus y minus 1 is equal to 1, or minus y is equal to 2, or y is equal to minus 2. So we got z is equal to minus 1, y is equal to minus 2, and let us put that in this equation. So we have x plus 3y plus 2z is equal to minus 3. So from this we have z is equal to minus 1. So this becomes minus 2. Y is equal to minus 2. So this is minus 6. So x minus 8 is equal to minus 3, or x is equal to minus 3 plus 8, that is equal to 5. So we have x is equal to 5. So we have all these. So that means our initial formula, this one here, if we put those values here, what do we have? C power x, so that is c power 5, g power y, so g power minus 2, and h power z, h power minus 1. This gives us our density. So look at this. So we have c power 5, g power minus 2, and h power 1. So our answer is this one, option B. Okay. Hello students. Let us look at this PYQ. A force defined by F is equal to alpha t squared plus beta t acts on a particle at a time t. The factor which is dimensionless if alpha and beta are constant. These are the options: beta t by alpha, alpha t by beta, alpha into beta t, alpha beta by t. This was asked in NEET 2024. Alright, what are the principles involved in this numerical? Look at this. F is equal to alpha t square plus beta t. Now F is equal to alpha t square plus beta t. We have a principle. We can add only similar quantities, and that quantity has to be the final quantity. That is the fundamentals of dimensional analysis. So if this is force, that means this is also force and this is also force, this entire thing. We can add only force and we get force. So that's the underlying principle. So that means this is also force and this is also force. Now, what is a dimensionless quantity? When you divide the same quantity by itself, mass by mass, length by length, then we get a number, and number doesn't have any dimensions. So here also, if we divide force by force, it becomes a dimensionless number. If we add force plus force, we get force. If we subtract force, we get force. This is not algebraic subtraction where f minus f is 0. We are talking in terms of dimensions. F into f, it is some quantity, but definitely not force, but definitely not dimensionless also. So the only option is force by force. So this is also force and this is also force. So alpha t square by beta t, or beta t by alpha t square. These are the only options that gives us dimensionless quantity. So let us look at this one. So this is alpha t by beta, and this is beta by alpha t. What options do we have? Here we have alpha t by beta. This one is matching our this one. So this is our right answer. Alright, let's see you in the next PYQ. Hello students, let us look at another PYQ. A balloon is made of a material of surface tension S and its inflation outlet has an area A. It is filled with a gas of density ρ. It takes a spherical shape of radius r, and when the gas is allowed to freely flow out of it, its radius changes from r to 0 in time t. If speed of gas coming out of the balloon depends on r as r power a, and time period is proportional to s power alpha, a power beta, rho power gamma and r power delta, what are the values of alpha beta? This is a big problem. This may seem confusing, but if we focus on this one and using dimensional analysis, it becomes very easy. So they are saying time period is proportional to something. Now what is S? S is surface tension. What is A? A is area. Rho is density, and R is radius. So some combination of this is becoming time. So if we translate all of these to their fundamental units m, l and t, then all of this should become time. So let us solve here. So what is S? S is surface tension. Surface tension is force by length, and we have area. Area is side into side, so length square. We have rho. Rho is density. Density is mass by volume. And we have r. R is radius. Radius is length. So these are the dimensions of all of these. And what are they saying? Surface tension. Surface tension is force by length. What is force? Force is mass into acceleration. L by t square into L. L get cancelled. So we have m t power minus 2. So surface tension dimension is m t power minus 2. So m t power minus 2. So now look at this time. S power alpha. So m t power minus 2 power of alpha. A is beta. So L2 to the power of beta. Gamma is density. So m L power minus 3 to the power of gamma. And R is length to the power of delta. So let us expand all of this. So we have m power alpha, t power minus 2 alpha, L power 2 beta, m power gamma, L power minus 3 gamma, L power delta. So let us gather all the m's together. So we have m alpha plus gamma, L is 2 beta minus 3 gamma plus delta, and t power minus 2 alpha. Now all of this is this one here, and on the left side we have time. So this is equal to time in terms of dimensions. So what does this mean? There is no m, there is no l. So we have m power 0, l power 0 and t power 1. This is, so there is now m power 0, l power 0 and t power 1. So let us do that, equate that. So 1 is equal to minus 2 alpha, or alpha is equal to minus half. And let us take this one, alpha plus gamma. Alpha plus gamma, there is no m power, so it's on the left side we have m power 0. So alpha is equal to minus 2. So gamma is equal to plus 1 by 2. Okay, if you look at these options here, now we have alpha is equal to minus half. There are two options, and gamma is equal to minus half and plus half, and we have plus half. So this fits our answer. All right, time is of essence in these exams, so we have to be quick. So what did we do? We read all of this, but what we realized is this is our most important equation, and in this, what we did, we found out the dimensions of each quantity and we equated it to time. From this point onwards, it is algebraic manipulation. All right. These are all the questions in dimensional analysis, and if you can practice some more PYQs, you should be able to solve any question on dimensions. All the best.